Welcome to Bitter Reality Brewing. Flying Dog, Raging Bitch, part 2 of 2. Now is this Raging Bitch? Or is this Raging Bitch on Rye, the clone I made? I'm not telling. I tell you it's damn good. You'll have to watch the video. But please, don't forget, subscribe, share. We're working on something. I think I have a contest coming up. I'll let you know once I get everything kind of, how do you say, lined up, or the ducks in a row. But I have a good idea for a nice little, something minor, but still good for home brewers, and I think home brewers will appreciate it. Let's watch the show. It's time to transfer Flying Dog, Raging Bitch on Rye. If you've seen this before with previous videos, you know what we're about to do. Basically, we're doing a closed system. So we're gonna get the pump, make sure it's nice and full of water. Put a connector on here, or disconnect. Couldn't find my little pliers, so hey, get the big one. Connect this to this keg. This keg we're just using to let the water flow. That's all we're doing. Okay, over here, this is the keg we're going to be using, and we're going to be dry hopping it with 1 ounce of Cryo Columbus and 1 ounce of Amarillo Cryo. Take those. These are sitting on plates because they've already been cleaned, sterilized, star sand, rinsed. And when you're cleaning things with star sand, don't let it sit in there overnight. It takes a lot to rinse all soap and bowls out. Whew, that is strong. You think hops are strong? Smell cryo hops. I know it's supposed to be twice as powerful, but it smells more like 4 or 5 times easy. Now the Columbus, I'd say twice. But the Amarillo was like major. A little powder in there. Get that out of there. Okay. I've already tied it. All I'm gonna do is take it, minimize handling, even though my hands smell like star sand to a certain degree. Sealed, lower it on in. Okay, we'll take this on over here, only for a moment because I'm not sure the air will reach. And I'm gonna purge all the CO2. Sorry for the ringing of the bell. Look at that tilt in here. I want to grab it, show that to you when we do the taste testing, but yeah, it fermented pretty dry. A lot drier than we expected. This here, we'll bring this bad boy over here still. Might as well go ahead and put that on there. Here we go. Smells good. Expected more odor, but it's very mild. And that's it. We're going to purge any oxygen that may have gotten in, the little CO2. We'll put it down here, let it sit for about 6 days. Then we'll go ahead and we'll transfer it one more time to the keg that's going to get cold crashed. And we'll rock on. It's that time. We got to transfer the Raging Bitch from one Raging Bitch on Rye to the other keg. We've been dry hopping it for about 6 days. Before we move it, if I don't pull a magnet, we'll have the original. I emailed Flying Dog and Flying Dog said, Rage on. So appropriate. And here we go. Put this on a little bit here. I want to clarify it a little bit, so I put 3/4 of a teaspoon of gelatin with a half cup of warmed water, and I put 1 gram of absorbic acid just to help make sure we don't end up with any oxygen absorption. Oh, and I've already purged it. And there we go. It's sitting at about 5 or 6 psi just from the secondary fermentation. Okay, it's dropping down. I'm gonna move it back up to right about 5. We really don't need to go any faster than that. And I need to get the blow off valve that I almost always forget. You can hear the air. That's the East Coast on the West Coast on the East Coast. We'll be moving that one next and dry hopping it. I'm saving a few of these just so I can compare, but they really did a major job on clarifying their Belgian IPA, which when I think Belgian IPA, I don't think clear, but that's very clear. So I'll go for a little bit, but you know, flavor is king. If I can clarify it a little bit, great. If not, not a loss. Okay, that's gonna take a little bit. Okay. That's it. We're gonna drop it in the keg. Keezer, sorry, drop the keg in the keezer. Let it chill. Decarbonate it. And we'll try it out and see how it compares to the real thing. It's that time. Time to taste test the Flying Dog's clone, should we say, Raging Bitch on rye. Flying Dog's Raging Bitch Original. It's an amazing, amazing IPA. You gotta like all the aroma and the fruitiness. It's got a lot of fruit. So, here we go. Now we had one issue. As usual, we always have issues. Gotta have issues. If you don't have issues, it's boring. First of all, not quite as clear. It's getting there. It's only been, you know, maybe a week in the chill, but it's getting there. It's definitely getting there. And definitely the same color almost, maybe a hint on the darker side. The original Flying Dog Raging Bitch is 8.3% ABV. We used the Ardennes yeast, which I said Omega originally, but it's actually, or I said White Labs. It is Omega, sorry. Or Weist, I can't even remember anymore. Doesn't really matter, we can all look it up. Yeah, one of the problems is our gravity was at 1.075 when we pitched the yeast. The yeast, for some reason, I got into Reddit, talked to some people, really took off very slow. That's not the norm. When I got the yeast, I think it got a little warm, or maybe it was a little old, because all the other yeasts I had ordered from that same company were just fine. So, we pitched it. It took about a full week to really get going and start eating away. But then it didn't stop. According to Beersmith, with that yeast, we should have been hitting somewhere about 1.014 based on our grains and everything. We actually were floating between, with the tilt hydrometer, between 1.008 and 1.007. So I want to call it a 1.0075, almost the same number, just pushed down one. That puts us between 8.9 and 9.1% ABV. Yeah, that's a big beer. That's a very big beer. That's the last beer of the night and you're done. Or it's your first beer of the night and you're done. So I'm going to taste test the original. Very drinkable. Nice fruit. Nice little bite, little spice. And the clone on rye. Gotta tell you, the smell is almost identical. I would say they're hard to tell apart, but I can tell them apart. They're so similar. So so similar. So I'm pretty sure we about nailed the recipe, and I kind of question if they don't put rye in here. No one's ever said they put rye, but the rye complements it amazingly well. I've got that same everything except for maybe just an ever so subtle more heat to it, the ABV, and a hint more spice, which is probably the rye, plus a little bit more mouthfeel. I mean, I don't really know how to explain it. If you brew beer, you understand what I'm talking about. When you have like a thick stout that's, you know, really heavy, you got that thicker mouthfeel. I'm gonna say the mouthfeel is a little more to the medium than medium light where it is over here, or medium to medium heavy. And it's hard when you're tasting ABVs up around the 8.3 and 8.9, 9.1. But yeah, they are, I mean, they are like sister and brother. Not quite identical twins, but pretty damn close. Thanks again for joining us here on Bitter Reality Brewing. Don't forget, subscribe, share, please share, like, and if you have any questions, please leave it down in the comments. If you have questions about the recipe, let me know. Yeah. Very nice, very nice. Not to mention, I think the cryo hops really helped with the aroma, because the aroma stands out much more than the original. Which, hey, you know, the original's awesome, but there's always room for improvement no matter what you're doing. Thanks again.